DC Vigilante here. Do you know something? I might just put something on this back screen again. Talking to you straight from my work on the night shift, so it just means that I'm restricted in when I can do it. Not only that, I haven't been posting much because of my throat and stuff. So anyway, back on to things. Man, what a lot of bullshit that has came out. I mean, I've had a lot of letters and messages and people worrying and stuff like that on my Facebook page, and rightfully so, because we're living in a world now where we just want information. We can't wait. You know, there was a time when I was growing younger where you would just wait until the movies came out into the cinema, and you knew very little unless you bought a book that says this is what happened behind the scenes. But now we're getting inundated, you know, and we've got to the stage now where we're sending letters and emails to film companies and asking for the cut, you know, whereas beforehand we'd probably go, I don't know how we did it with the Richard Donner cut. Maybe since the internet started coming available, that's when people started asking for it. So there's a couple of things that happened. Of course, there was that stuff where Variety sort of newsreel came out and it basically retold some of the old posts about the Snyder Cut. I don't know why they feel like they have to attack the fans in such a way. I won't read it out. That it's not worth it's not worth that attention. But what happened straight afterwards was Zack Snyder came out and posted more, and basically telling everybody, it says, don't give up, don't listen to this nonsense. And that's precisely my point. There seems to be this need for news every day, and when there isn't news, what they do is rehash stuff, right? They take maybe articles that had already been talked about weeks, months, years, and retweet it in order to get business. And every time you click onto it, somebody's getting money. Now, for my page, I have to post some of these new feeds, but take it with a pinch of salt. It's only until my page starts talking about it just like this where we have to take notice, you know, because most of the time it's just because we wouldn't be a page. We wouldn't be an informative page if we didn't post what was happening. And until a couple of days later or a couple of hours, we investigate it and then we find out what the actual story is. But we didn't have to wait that long. As I said, Zack Snyder posted some great pictures of the Justice League proving that most of his shots were completed. Mark Hughes, who I recently spoke to on Facebook, he's now came aboard on the Snyder front, and he actually defended the movement, and he is wondering why these journalists are somehow attacking this. And for me, it goes back to BVS, it goes back to Man of Steel, and it just seemed popular at those times for critics in the media to slam these, and they went overboard to these movies. And the reason why Man of Steel and BVS is still talked about just now is because people are suddenly either finding the Ultimate Edition or watching the movies themselves and saying, this film is fantastic. What on earth was the critics what about? Why did I listen to the critics? And that is why it's still topical today. And you could say, oh, it's because it's that bad it's talked about. but it's still making you talk, it's still making it so that it's, and that's what films are about. Films, good films, are ones that you want to talk about and discuss afterwards, not just go to the film, watch it, feel and then go home. You know, you want something that's deep and moving. Well, that's the kind of films that I like to see anyway. Recently, of course, there's all this talk about Superman, and we've got Henry Cavill as Henry Cavill. You know, 1 minute you're reading he's quitting, then the next thing you know, he's keeping his job, he's still Superman. Then next, all of a sudden, you have, is it somebody from Black Panther or something? I'll need to check on it before. And he's went to Warner Brothers to give him his take on Superman. Now, a lot of the posts are reading this into that he wants to be Superman. And that again is a reflection in society. Either it's a lot of rubbish and people are making stuff up for clickbait articles, or we're living in a world where we just seem it's necessary to paint the white man as a villain. Now, I've got nothing against a black Superman, right? When it comes to comics, when it comes to cartoons or whatnot and stuff like that, but movies, no, because movies for me is global, is worldwide. It's going to take in more and more people that have never heard of Superman. Surprisingly enough, there's always a generation that's never heard of Superman, or it's their first Superman film, and you want that film to be true to Superman. Not only that, I think when it comes to being, we living in a society now where everything is either we have to make something that has every race, every gender, whatnot accounted for and stuff into movies and media. Right now we've got a surge of women taking over what was previously men roles, and now we have this, you know, a couple of years back we had Black Panther. It's about black superhero, and I'm not against black superheroes. In fact, I've actually had messages from black people disgraced at the fact that Superman is thinking about being black in the next one. It's almost the same line as a woman James Bond. It's just not right, you know. And for me, I think when you have, say, I mean, I know what America has been like in the past, and no doubt they're trying to apologise for that. But Superman is meant to be the symbol for, you know, how can I put this? All the great black people, right? Martin Luther King, who else? Gandhi, and they've all got the great heroes, right? They've all got the great heroes. Oh, and now we're looking at black superheroes like Black Panther or Black Lightning, and it just somehow has to have like black in it. But to have a white Superman who's to inspire the fellow men into how to treat one another. So to have a white man say and look at another white man and discuss if he's been racist, for me has a more impact, because white men will look up to Superman and say, wow, he doesn't see colour. But all of a sudden, if it's like a black superhero being Superman, then again it just falls into the wrong categories. People will start thinking, oh God, we've got to, you know, let's all dish out hatred against the white people. They're taking away Superman from us. They're taking away they're taking away the sort of identity. I mean, would you like it if all of a sudden the black superheroes in the comics suddenly were white? No. But what you can do is you can create an original character for that. And as I say, Superman stands like all superheroes, but for Superman, since he was created, there's always been this thing that people have to inspire to. You know, people have to, you know, they wear the S symbol and T-shirt, and if one white man can inspire other white men to be less hatred and less racist, that is, I think, more powerful than being a black Superman. So, with all this news about Superman and there's no sign of a Superman movie, I mean, I am gutted, and I'm as much as you are. And I've read news articles that stating that there's no place for a Superman just now. There always is a place. I thought for Man of Steel showed that. I thought BVS, when Superman, even though he was the most hated guy on the screen in BVS, civilians were burning his symbol in marketplaces. Kids crying over the toys and whatnot. But again, after all the world hating him, after Batman wanted to kill him, after Lex Luthor devised a plot to really make the world turn against him, Superman still saves him. That is hope. And for a white man to see the whole nation as one colour, that to me is the reason why Superman should always be white, because basically white men really need, you know, to still come out of the dark ages. You know, there is still a lot, and don't get me wrong, there's hatred on both sides still. Today there's still racism on both sides. There is still so what we've got to do is not take away the heroes that are there already, and the symbols and the meaning that they stand for, you know, and maybe there you go, that's your next Superman movie. Have him more grounded, have him fight racism, have him fight on the, you know, on the black side, because some sort of white villain is being, you know, there are so many great grounded stories out there, and it is refreshing. And I said, when I hear from some black people angry with the thought of having a black Superman, because hopefully you are like me, and when it comes to gender or race or whatever, we just see each other as human beings. You know, when I watch Denzel Washington, I don't think of a black man. I just think of of his character, of a hero. When I see Sigourney Weaver in Aliens, I don't think, oh God, is a woman, surely she's going to be weak. I don't think that, but the movies, the medias and the TVs are trying to act though we need educated, and it's their job to turn everything around. And if they carry on doing this, they are going to lose money. And it's time for Warner Brothers and all the other TV studios that seem, and Disney, especially Disney, to stop with your political correctness. If you want to tell some sort of political correct storyline, then keep the characters as they are and make them go on that journey. But this is DC Vigilante asking you not to follow clickbait, and let's go back in time to where we once were, and just wait until the film comes out. Then we'll know the truth. And this is my truth. Catch you later.